Figure out what the fuck it is.
Watch your mouth, boy.
Can't figure out what this is.
Oh, that's what you meant to say. Okay. Look in your main screen and your scenes.
Good afternoon, guys.
And your sources. And look for the one that is your camera, and that's the scene name. Just
There it is.
Alex. Okay.
It says green screen. Green screen. No.
No.
Desktop camera. Desktop camera. Is it filters? Oh, I found it. Okay. And then I go here. Then I click back here. And then color correction.
Hey, fellas.
What's up?
How you guys doing?
We's good.
Nice. Hello, guys.
What's up, Steven?
Hey, Rick and Alex.
Yo. Okay, I found it now.
We got any echoing going on? Because sometimes I just don't know.
Slow day.
Slow days are good. The sun came out here, so the phone's
Sounds
been
good.
ringing a lot.
Sounds good to me. Rick Hall and Alex Oates. Sounds good on my end.
Rick Hall and Alex Oates.
How's that?
How's what?
My picture. A lot better?
I think so. Oh, yeah.
I did gamma, contrast, brightness, and saturation.
Yeah, so I think you're a lot louder than me. I'm not sure.
Oh.
Is Alex loud or am I quiet?
I can adjust my volume a little bit.
Well, hold on. I might be quiet.
I think when you have to chat voice on, it adds a lot more lag from the feed and the chat. When the voice chat is off, I feel like you see the chat sooner. A bit washed out on your face, Alex. What mic do you have, Rick? I want to get one, just don't know what one to get. The one on the boom. No, perfect. Rick is louder.
We are using the G-Track Pro made by Samson.
Samson. Samson. Alex, I'm louder than you, so turn your mic up just a hair. Or bring it closer.
How's that?
Agree.
I look cool with the mic in view.
Oh, it's much better when you sit up straight. Yeah, well, my mic's in view. Oh, wait, the timer's up. Well, let's get this show started. Hold on. Let me push buttons. I need to push buttons. We'll go boom. Okay.
Rick and Alex have the same mic.
Yes, we have the same mic. And I can turn. Oh, what happened? I'm pushing all the wrong buttons. And I can turn this guy off. That way you guys don't hear the chat. Maybe that'll help. Maybe it won't help. We'll see. Alex, what are you pushing buttons for?
I'm gonna try to make me not as washed out.
Okay, if you add another color correction and put the color correction under your what you call it, your filter for your whatever they call the damn thing, words. Yes, we have the same mic. And then in that color correction, you can adjust your color back. No, your color correction. No, Alex, your color correction's in the wrong spot. You need the color correction under
Chroma
your
key.
filter, your chroma key. That's the word. Hey, what's up, Dave? Are you doing this right?
Yeah, but it looks weird when I throw it under there.
Let me look at mine real quick here. Okay, we're gonna do some weird stuff. So, fix camera filters. Wait, okay, so
Look, I'm a ghost.
yeah, see, so you should have your chroma key and then color correction right under it. You have color correction above it also, right?
Yeah,
Or no?
I have
Okay.
both.
But you want to make sure that you're adjusting the color correction under it
Yeah.
because you're, I believe, adjusting the color. There you go. Now you got the right idea.
Oh, like this.
I think you want to add. Play with your saturation.
Oh. Oh. I think I just did something. Whatever. I think this is good enough. I don't want to fuck with it anymore or mess with it anymore. Hi,
Yeah, it's
Roy.
pretty
How's it
good.
going? What's up, Brendan? What's up, DW, T Town, Lobo Mo, Eric, Don, Marquis Paul.
Marquis Paul.
Marquis Paul.
Marquis Paul, I heard somebody sent you the wrong price from WFR last week. Sorry about that. I didn't do it though. Just just want to clear that up. I did not have anything to do with sending you the wrong price. I did, however, offer up your address so that they could send you the price, albeit the wrong price. What's
Hey, what's
up,
up,
Corey?
Corey?
So today's topic is going to be bad habits. So, and you guys will be happy to know that because of the the online posts and response we got from the candy with you guys sharing that we sent you candy, I bought today. Yes, Cash. Um, so today I ordered a whole bunch of big boxes of goodies that will be coming in, and we're going to be sending them out. And I got to turn this down just. Lots more candy. So, bad habits. Some habits are a little easier to break than others, obviously. And let's guess we can start with anything. I mean, I had some bad habits that I was dealing with many, many years ago. A lot of you guys probably don't know this, but I put my last mind altering substance in my body on January 29th, 2009. So it's been a little over 13 years since I've had a drink or any kind of drugs. And that's because I had some serious bad habits that I had the hardest time kicking. So we're going to go ahead and mute that because it's just distracting me. Um, so back then, I didn't really even know what I was dealing with or going through was a problem. I mean, to me, it seemed kind of okay. It seemed kind of like I was normal. The only thing is, looking back, I certainly wasn't normal. I was I was wreaking havoc on the world, and my life wasn't in order, and I couldn't save any money. Led to other bad um, behaviors, and paying my bills was difficult. And I got to thinking about that. We do have a few customers, and I'm not pinpointing anybody on the stream or anybody in particular, but I've encountered some customers that will go through a roll of film and need to buy another roll of film, but they just don't have the money for it. And I understand where that comes from. And sometimes these things are, hard to deal with, but there's definitely ways out, as I found. And I don't know if Alex knows anything about that. Actually, I do know if Alex knows anything about that, but it's not for me to say.
Uh, my last mind altering substance was supposed to be August 10th of 2020, or yeah, 2020. But I went to a hibachi a couple weeks ago and I got splashed with some sake, and I didn't know it was sake.
Japanese dude told him, "Open your mouth," and so Alex, usually does what he's told, and he opened his mouth, and
Dude, they
but we're
wouldn't
not
stop
gonna
spraying it in. But
we're
so there's
we're not
that.
gonna count that one.
But
What's this? We
yeah,
picky for
man.
free stuff. Oh, wasn't it Cash? Cash, wasn't it you that said that you wanted the peanut M and M's instead of the um, plain M and M's? Well, I bought a couple boxes of variety pack M and M's, so we'll try to get you the right ones next time.
The DW says, so the UPS guy was like, hey, I got your film in here somewhere. I just can't find it. So yeah, I got the Avery, but the Helios is MIA right now. That's a bummer. They do that sometimes, but I hope you get it soon.
Not all UPS drivers are smart. You just should have told them it's the frickin' bright ass orange and blue box. I mean, it's not.
That's awesome, Tim.
I want one last night for my son's birthday. Oh, cool. Yeah, I love me a good hibachi, but I know, and I guess Alex knows now, not to open your mouth when Japanese dude says, "Open your mouth." You just say, "No, no, no." I mean, actually, I didn't realize that it was sake, but I went to a hibachi with my cousin and his wife, and then my cousin went first, and he got it kind of sprayed all over his face and like overflowed his mouth and ran down his shirt. And yeah, I was not in for that. And I'm like not trying to go home with whatever you're spraying out this thing. So we'll pass. But yeah, so that was my thing. Billy Ayton, scratching your ass before picking your nose is bad habit. It is. I'm telling you, you got to get that shit in the right order. If you're gonna do both, you've got to time it properly. Or wash your damn hands. Lobo says he done it at or went to a couple places and he wasn't in either. So Alex, you're an anomaly. So, anyways, yeah, that's just I mean part of bad habits. There's other bad habits we don't even know that we're doing, like in a cleaning process. I see a lot of people, they'll show a little bit of speckly back window where um like it seems more speckly at the top half of the window than the bottom half, and they're like, where's this coming from? And there's a lot of guesses, and I'm sitting over here thinking to myself, well, it's coming probably from your prep and not because you didn't get the window clean. But a lot of people, when they um you want your film to slide, so you get done cleaning and prepping your window and then you spray all over it, but you're not very mindful, and it almost becomes habitual to spray all the way to the top to make sure everything's wet. But the problem is you didn't clean under the headliner, but you just sprayed under the headliner, and that runs down into your film, and now you've got dirty tint. And then I see a lot of people be like, I cleaned it 3 times. I don't understand why I'm still getting this. And, it's not, you can clean a window once. So procrastinating is my bad habit. Oh my God, I'm so terrible at that. I have like 3 different people that are trying to get me to send them an invoice so they can pay me. And I'm not good at
Yes,
that.
Michael Hilliard's got a good one too. Procrastination is a very bad habit. Like,
oh,
what are you
oh
doing
yeah.
on your what are you doing on your downtime? Like, are you sweeping your floors and stuff? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I make some bad habits in the keg room, especially with cleaning up after myself. And, you know, you drop something, or you gotta put a hose on the ground, and then the hose gets dirty, or,
Yep.
um
Yep.
and I remember Rick talking about some guy called and was like, I need some advice. My guy keeps getting contamination in his windows, but he's one of those people that doesn't really keep a clean shop. And something as little as starting a car and the exhaust hitting the floor is enough to stir that dust up. So,
Yep.
if you just
Yep.
take a little time out
Definitely.
your day.
Definitely big things you can do in that category. Wash your floor once a week. And um, Billy Ayton says snapping blades on a car body was a bad habit. My boss hated it. Yeah, don't do that. Just don't. Um, but better yet, throwing your film scraps on the floor or even snapping your blade on the floor, absolutely not necessary. And a lot of people think, well, I'll clean it up at the end of the day. One thing that I learned, and I learned it many many years ago when I was still relatively green, and I had this other shop owner have to come bail me out during a day, and he walked into the shop and he's like, let me know when you get this place workable because I'm not working in this mess. And he turned around and walked away, and I'm overwhelmed. It's like I ain't got time to clean up the goddamn floor. And but he wasn't coming to help me, and I needed his help or I wasn't finishing. And um so I cleaned it up. And so while we were tinting, he explained to me that if you place your garbage cans in the right spots around your work area, it takes no longer to throw your trash in the garbage than it does to throw it on the floor. You have to throw it somewhere. So make sure where you're throwing it from is near a trash can. So with that little piece of advice, I formed a good habit. I did a good thing, and it was amazing and it worked. So ever since then. And any of my guys that work for me, you'll never find a snap blade on the floor. You'll never find a razor blade on the floor. You'll never find so much as a rounded corner on the floor, because that's just our procedure. And what that does for us is we're just as efficient during the day, but at the end of the day, we have no cleanup. And sometimes, I'm sure you guys know, when you've had your ass handed to you the entire day and you're finally done, you don't feel like cleaning up the floor. And sometimes you come into that mess in the next day, and then you start off your day on the wrong note because you come in and you're like, oh shit, that's right, I got to clean this up. And my first couple of years I was like that, and now I just don't know any better. And if I go into a shop and I'm working and there isn't a garbage can, I don't even mind walking over to the garbage can. Sometimes I'll steal the garbage can, because most shops that aren't tint shops just stick their garbage cans like way off in the corner. And that's cool if you like walking, but why don't you put it in your work area and put one on each side of the vehicle and one in the back of the vehicle? And for $14 a can, it's really simple. Knife in your pocket, good habit. Yeah, me too. I don't even hardly tint windows anymore, but knife in my pocket, red dot.
That's a great habit to have because I can't find my tintless knife again. But I have this knife in my pocket. So
Alex loses knives daily. I think he's got like 12 knives and he can only ever find one or maybe two at a time. I keep a trash can behind my peel board at all, and all scraps, trimmings, blades, and clear goes in the trash. I'm not a gymnast. I don't like tripping over random trash items. Yes, true. And not just that, but the liability factor. If somebody else comes walking through your area and doesn't see that liner on the floor, that stuff's like ice. So definitely a bad habit, and a habit it is. So gambling, yes, Jaybird. Gambling is another habit. I struggle right now with shopping. I go a little overboard sometimes, and I got to catch myself and pull me back. And Alex, look under the pile of papers.
I seen that too. That's funny.
Washing machines eat Olfas. I have never washed an Olfa, but that is definitely good to know. Um, but yeah, so other bad habits. Well,
You know,
smoking's obviously a bad habit, and
I kind of I kind of want to go back and touch on Jaybird, and not just gambling itself, but like spending habits, and being punctual on some responsibilities you have, especially if you're like running a shop or something, because I see a lot of people out here that get next day air, but they're only buying a 50-foot roll of something, and it's like, well, you could have gotten the whole 100-foot roll for almost the same price if you didn't get next day air. So if you would have, maybe ordered a day or two ahead of time, like you would have gotten 50 more
absolutely.
feet.
Yeah.
You,
So yeah, we definitely have customers that do that, and it's every single order. They'll order a 50-foot roll. So what we do with a 50-foot roll, because you've got the cost of the end caps, the cost of the box, and the cost of the core. So the cores are like $8 a piece, and you guys can do the math with me so that you know that I'm not making money off you. $8 a piece, $1 a piece for the end caps. That's $10, and then the box is like 450 a half. So the bottom's 450, top's 450. So $9 for the box. So we've got $19 into giving you a 50-foot roll. What we charge is 20 extra dollars. So we take the cost of the 100-foot roll, divide it by 2, and add $20 to it. And that's where we come up with the price. So you're $20 extra, actually $40 extra for 100-foot roll, and then, $40 or $50 for your next day air is, like Alex said, basically the cost of, and you get free shipping, free ground shipping with anything over $50. So, even just order in 1 day in advance. So procrastination definitely is super financial factor, and it can bite you in the ass,
Yeah,
and
and then like another good scenario is like say you order, $100 tools, like a couple of squeegee blades, a handle, maybe a knife, pack of blades, and some tri-edge X's, right? But then, minus the pack of blades. But then you forgot to order the pack of blades, so you just placed $100 order. 4 days later, you need a pack of blades. So you spend what, like $10 on a pack of blades, more or less, and then you pay another $10 in shipping. So now and like when you could have just included it all in the same order and then saved on that shipping. But
Billy
I
says
do the
that
same
we're
thing
we're
too.
we're crazy. We should be at $500 before free shipping. Well, I'm changing standards in our industry, and so the other guys can either follow suit or just watch. I don't care. I just feel like if I can afford to send it out for free, but that's another spending thing. Pay attention when you guys place an order. I can't tell you how many times somebody will order $45 worth of tools, pay the $10 flat rate, so they give us $55 for $45 in tools. Now, we appreciate that because if you spend under $50, there's a good chance that we're sending it USPS. And if we send it USPS and it's under a pound, then we send it
First class.
whatever that first class mail, which costs us about $4 to send it, and you paid us $10. So I made $6 off of your shipping, which goes towards, and that's how we work it with the $50 free shipping. Because obviously, I send your $50 order, I'm going to send UPS ground, and that's going to cost me a minimum of $15. And at that $15, that's about what I make off your $50 order. So I made nothing off of you. But that guy that ordered, less than $50 worth of tools, he helped fund your shipping. So it all works out. And that's, like I said, we're just playing numbers games and making it work for you guys. But I wouldn't be mad if y'all, and Billy, if you want to order from me and you want to spend $500, I'll still give you free shipping. I'm good with that. So I'm I'm just as fair as I could be. I would prefer you guys to make bigger orders because there is only so much profit margin here. I am sure each and every one of you guys has heard, you know, tool suppliers talk about how there's really no money in window tinting tools. Um, there's really not a lot of money in window tint either. But the nice thing about the window tint is that it's a higher ticket value, so the profit number is a little larger. So Lobo says the absolute worst bad habit, hands down, is fear. Most people don't even know they have it. You might be scared to do a car or ask for help or change jobs or ask a girl out. Fear is the worst. Yeah, and I tell people one of the biggest pieces of advice I give people is don't let fear run your business. If you're going to go into business for yourself, do not let fear. If you can imagine it, you can make it real. If you can believe, if you can think you should be able to make it happen, you will be able to make it happen. The only thing keeping you from making it happen is going to be fear. So, yeah, fear is one of those bad habits that you really can't afford to bring to work with you. And in life in general, remember, fear or no fear, life is going to work out exactly the way that it does. So, how you perceive it going into it is really you're the only one carrying that burden. And sometimes it affects your outcome because you avoid certain things because of fear. But God's got your back. And I don't try to talk about God and everything, but there is definitely some bigger power than me in the universe that takes care of me. Because sometimes I do things that I shouldn't be able to do. And I mean, in 2011, I lost a job and I was barely making ends meet, paycheck to paycheck. I was just getting by. And I decided to go into business for myself. And fast forward, that was 2011. So fast forward 11 years. And I have a successful tint shop on the other side of town, which Brittany and Charles and Mary run. And we're doing pretty damn good over here with Sun Distributing, and my whole life I wanted to work for myself, but up until 2011 I always worked for somebody else because of fear. Because what if I didn't make it? But when I got into this fellowship, um oh, we'll see you, John. Thanks for stopping in. um I got into this fellowship, and a lot of people, it gets a bad rap because, well, I'll just say it, there's a lot of bad meetings. But my whole life I've had, people suggesting I go to Alcoholics Anonymous because, I had issues and I needed to deal with them, although I didn't believe them until one day I finally did. What it did was planted a seed, because there was people at those meetings that talked about how they had long-term sobriety and stuff. And when I finally got to the point in my life where I needed some sobriety, because I was just, living that dream, which turned into a nightmare, not just for me, but for everybody in my life. And they taught me so much more. They taught me about what's inside of me driving me, and it was fear. And who knew? But by 2011, when I lost my job, I was almost 2.5 years sober, and I trusted this power that they introduced me to at that time. And so fear no longer dictated what I was going to do. And when I lost my job, I actually got a job offer immediately, making more than I was making at the job I lost, plus working half the hours. And it was just like, in my old life, that was a dream come true. But deep down inside, I always wanted to work for myself. So I told that person that offered me the job, put that on pause. I need to see how this other thing works out. And it worked out. My fear was irrelevant. My whole life, my fear was irrelevant, but I wouldn't allow me to do something that apparently I was capable of doing because of it. So definitely something that you might want to keep in mind. Um, and Marquise Paul says it's like car shops, no money to be made off of oil changes. That's why they upsell you on tires and wipers and everything else. Yes, yes, for sure. Same thing with gas stations. Have you noticed that your gas stations are like becoming convenience stores? And there's just, I mean, percentages of pennies to be made off of a gallon of gas. And so they hope that you come in and buy snacks. And why do they have the fountain drinks and all that, ready-made food and everything, and it's becoming so convenient, is because those are their profit margin items. So and Michael Hillard says, quote of the day, God's got your back. True statement. He does. No matter how many bad decisions I ever made in my life, the outcome was always the way that it was supposed to be, whether I like the outcome or not. See, my idea of a good outcome was whatever my short-term hopes were for that moment. But looking back over my life, and you guys can probably do this, every single decision you ever made, good or bad, got you to where you're at right now. And if where you're at right now isn't doing it for you, be patient. And if you can't find yourself on the winning side of a decision, and you feel like maybe you're having struggles, this is something we also know a little bit about. We live a different type of life and set a different type of standard for ourselves. We were taught how to do that, and it works. So, I mean, if you ever feel like you could use a little direction and something like that, one thing I can tell you is if you ask me, I'm not super nice about it. I'll tell you directly what I see the problem being because that's what somebody did for me. And I was ready to hear it when they did it for me. So I changed it. And like I said, life is good now. Marquise Paul says, thank you for mentioning the gas stations. Sometimes when a station isn't meeting their numbers for the month, they will disable the card reader at the pumps to get you inside. And that's true. I mean, we have a gas station right on my way home from work that's been closed down for months because they were just struggling, and they didn't have the draw. And the reason they didn't have the draw is because right next door to a speedway. And if you guys got speedways around you, their speedway is like this freaking convenience store from hell has uh, that has pretty much everything that you could need on the fly. I mean, all the things. And the Sunoco next door to them didn't have all the things. And they became aware of that and did a remodel and became the convenience store that you would want to go in. But the problem was Speedway was already so established. So at any given time, you'd see Speedway's parking lot full and Sunoco's had one, maybe two cars. And Sunoco was even cheaper on gas than Speedway. But, you know, we go to where we like, and they wasn't able to keep their doors open. And Jaybird, yes, some would say I have pretty good marriage advice, but again, that's going to be something you probably don't want to hear because one thing that I tell anybody is exactly what I had to be told. And that's that if you don't like the way your marriage is, change yourself. It's not always about having the best spouse. It's always about being the best spouse. And sometimes we get a little annoyed with something and we hold on to that and we become less of a partner to our spouse. And friction starts. And when friction starts, things get heated up. And before you know it, you're not having a good marriage and you're not getting along. And the reality was, it takes two to have friction. So if you're even a little bit of a part of your friction in your marriage, start with you and become the best husband or wife that you could possibly be. And before you know it, you'll be, oh, look, we got Larry too. Cool. We got Larry and Marquise Paul. They're going to switch prizes and Larry, I feel bad for you. I feel like you're getting a losing end of that, but keep an eye on your inbox. As soon as we find out that everybody's got their prospective prizes, I got a secret for you and you're going to find out and you're going to love it. Scott Littler says, me and Tina married for 30 years. She must be one special lady because, wow, I've seen you in action, man. She's a keeper. No, I'm kidding. We do not have, Marquise, we do not have a Sheets gas station up here. Don't even know what that is, but made to order food they offer makes it more of a restaurant as opposed to a gas station. Now, here and there, speedways are having cafes in them where you can actually order food and they got seating and patio seatings. Not the
Sheets
one
looks
that I
just
drive by.
like Sheets looks like I'm like googling it and it looks almost like a speedway, so it might be like their equivalent.
Oh, okay.
And
Dave says it's basically a speedway.
um
So on
out west they got the Loaf and Jug, which is supposed to be like our Kroger gas station.
okay.
Yeah. It's it's weird how franchises work. Like It's all the same like advertising and marketing material. Even the commercials are the same on the radio. It's just like they
Yeah.
just swap the name out.
Um, Marquis says we've got both Speedway sheets and pilots. I gotta answer a message. Alrighty. So yeah, gas stations are cool for sure. And um another good advice when she complained that you don't open the car door for her. Don't wait until you're doing 65 down the highway. That was a little extreme, but a good example of what friction will do. Yeah. And don't allow there to be friction. One thing that I also learned is really beneficial if you want to keep the communication open and you want to find compromise so that you're not the only one making concessions, is when you notice something, and I mean, don't nitpick, but start to notice the things that crawl under your skin, and not at the moment necessarily, but during a good moment, say, oh, by the way, can I talk to you about something that's going to be a little uncomfortable? And most of the time she's going to be like, yeah, absolutely. And say, look, I'm not trying to pick a fight and I'm not trying to change who you are, but there's this one thing that you do that I struggle with, and I don't I don't know what to do with it, and give her the opportunity to meet you in the middle. And don't expect her to, because it doesn't always work out. Sometimes that's who she is, and then you have to figure out how to not allow it to bother you. Marquise loves Bucky's and Whataburger. Bucky's is pretty legit gas price wise. It was a little too overwhelming for me crowd wise, but we did stop in a Bucky's and went in and walked around, and we bought a few things, and I bought one of every one of their fudges because I was curious, and that was before my um, New Year's resolution. So, oh, speaking of New Year's resolution, I don't know if I mentioned it. I don't think I did, but maybe I did. But I dropped a pant size. I am actually down to a 34 waist now, which is good. Um, Mary had to pull all my jeans out of the donation bag. Thank God I hit that mark before she hit the Salvation Army. But, I mean, there's that. Gas just went up a little bit by us. I think we're at 4.30 a gallon now. And that's the other thing. Another bad habit that we have that we don't even realize is a habit is negativity. Um, and it's real easy to fall into looking at things negatively. Gas was always a big thing for me. By nature, I'm frugal. I'm a penny pitcher. And gas used to really just irk me. So in times like this, I would just constantly be on edge. And I learned that I just can't care about gas prices. And just like you form a bad habit, a good habit is just not giving a shit. And so I use my debit card at the pump. I don't look at the end price. I don't care if it's $40.13. I don't need to get to the nearest dollar because that causes me to pay attention to how much I'm spending, and I just do it. You live as is, because no matter how I feel or how I react to it, it's not going to change. The only one carrying that burden is me. And I've gotten to the point where I don't care when it hits $5 a gallon. I don't care. It's just, and it's painful. Lobo, come to Michigan. I'll put you to work. You can make more money. I promise. And gas will be like 80 cents cheaper. It'll be awesome. Look at that. um, but yeah, currently the state of the economy is difficult, but and Scott Littler says choose the right words speaking to your spouse and things will be okay. And that touches right on what I was saying during a calm moment, where because if you're irritated and you speak, no matter how calm you're trying to be, that irritation will come through your voice. A guy I worked for a long time ago, he made me, when I talk on the phone, when I talk to a customer on the phone, he'd make me smile. He's like, customers can hear your smile. And the reality is, it's true. And I don't always smile when I'm on the phone with people. And when I'm not smiling, people ask me what's wrong or am I okay today? And it's funny because if I'm smiling, there's just a little bit of a difference, although I'm not a big smiler. So, there's that. Alex, he's a pretty good smiler. He smiles a lot. Now, Ryan, our new guy, oh my God, he can't look at somebody and not smile. He has got this, he's like permagrin. His whole life is like crazy. And
We have a pretty good atmosphere here.
we do. And we got a new coffee pot today because the place that this used to be, a guy from this coffee break supply shop pops in looking for the restaurant supply place, and it's no longer here. And he got to talking to me, and I recognize it because I drive by it every day, and I always wondered about it. And he's like, "Oh yeah, we basically give you a free coffee pot, and put it in your business, and you just buy the coffee from us, and we'll deliver it once a month or every other week or whatever it is you need, and that's all there is to it." And I'm like, "Shit, sign me up!" So we got to. So if I seem like I'm rambling and going in all kinds of different directions, because I got way too many cups of coffee in me today, but it's been fun. And my nose itches. And that's not as fun. But let's see. So what else are we discussing? I feel like we only have. Oh, we just went from 18 to 21. I was going to say we only have 18 people, but now we got 21 people.
And
They're
something
coming and
about
going. And
the habits thing, I just want to put something out there. Habits are a lot like a retirement investment account. Um, small changes over time accumulate and they do compound. So it's not like just like a straight like 30-degree angle. It's more of like an up swoop, you know? Um, and I read somewhere one day read somewhere in a book that really resonated with me. And it was if you could change yourself for the better just by 1% every single day, mathematically, you'll be 37 times better within a year from your starting point. And then the same way goes the opposite way.
100%.
So it's like don't look to just change yourself into who you want to be like overnight because it's not going to happen and it's going to discourage you, and then you just go back into your old habits. Like, just that
Well,
one little thing at a time.
And the reality is, because we're not here trying to preach to anybody. You have to want to change. Like smoking. I need to quit smoking. It's a bad habit. It needs to happen. I don't want to. I'm going to smoke. I'll maybe even get lung cancer and die from it. And right now I'm okay with that. It is what it is. And no matter um Jaybird, you need wife advice and you're wondering if Pornhub is a good habit.
It's a
We
great habit.
we're gonna need to talk. Um, but if you have a habit that you enjoy and you don't want to give it up, don't. But one thing you should be is aware of what it how it participates in your situation, and then when you start looking and you feel like um then if you feel like it's having more negative effect on your situation than you're willing to that you're happy with, then you can start building a desire to change it. But if you don't have a desire to change it, don't. I mean, my spending habit is, well, it gets out of hand sometimes. I go overboard sometimes. Mary's kids will call me extra because I used to be, and I used to be the total opposite. I used to be so frugal. It's like I was that guy that looked for the best price. And now I'm the guy that looks for the best stuff. And so there doesn't seem to be a real happy medium for me. And that is another thing about us alcoholics is we do tend to be extremists. So finding balance is difficult. But I'm a work in progress.
It is hard too, cause like today I start my first day of class. I signed up for a graphic design program, so see where that takes me. But the class that I go to today is basic drawing, and then there was a shopping list, and I could have probably gotten some cheap, $30 kit off Amazon, but like, of course, I did my research, and I think I spent like $200 just in like pencils, charcoals, and like a few pads of paper. Like, I just went way overboard with it. um, but like Rick was like talking about, he used to be real frugal and would spend, you know, on the cheapest stuff and whatever he can get the best deal on, and now he kind of gets like the best thing. And I mean, I feel like in some occasions that's not a bad idea, because like I can't even count how many poly 2 sprayers that I bought, and what, at like $30, $40 a sprayer. Like I could have already bought a tint keg, and here I just got my first tint keg last week, and um I don't have to buy another poly 2 sprayer. Granted that I take good care of it, don't forget it somewhere or destroy the hose, but you know, or I guess another good example would be like a Walmart wallet for $10 that just turns to shreds in a year. And I actually got a decent wallet this time, and it's been 2 years and it still looks brand new. So yeah, thanks, Dave. Pretty excited. Ah, hell yeah, Mr. Gonzalez. There
Oh
definitely has
yeah,
to be a there definitely has to be a good balance between quality and quantity. Like
absolutely.
sometimes it's worth paying that little extra for the better product than it is getting the cheapest stuff. Like it'd be like LA's totally awesome, adhesive remover for $1 because it's the dollar store, or you can spend the $29 or however much it is for the gallon of ATR. Or we were even talking about it the other day when we were talking about slip solution. Like, sure, you can get Dawn dish soap or whatever, but you don't have to use as much when you're using all type. So there is some balance in that.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't when we're shopping price, and I know I was Mary, my wife, she's like the biggest reason I flipped the other direction, because she has always been the I want the best, I don't care how much it costs. And I was always I want the cheapest, and I don't care if I have to make concessions to because I bought it. But happy wife, happy life. So a lot of times we would buy her the better, and a lot of times she would also make concessions and allow me to get the cheaper, or I would make demands and get the cheaper. Whatever the case was, the cheaper didn't always work out and we'd have problems. And then she would get frustrated because I didn't buy this. So finally, I'm like, fine. And I'll be damned if she was right. She, you know, more times than not, the more expensive is just more worth it. I mean, that saying, you get what you pay for, more times than not is true. Sometimes you'll have two people selling the exact same thing. And so that's where I still stay frugal, because sometimes I will price shop. And that's why if you shop with me and you price shop me against other competitors, when you find the cheapest other competitor, you're going to find my prices right in line with theirs, because I am that guy that if it's got the same part number, the same brand, the same everything, but it's cheaper this way, then that's where I purchase it. Sometimes, when it becomes personal, I'll pay extra for somebody, and usually labor, but sometimes paying extra for labor, it pays off too because of their skill. They'll have a better skill level. And so the outcome's better. So yeah. Lobo says I
Invasion.
get the
Oh, I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead.
Invasion asks, he's asking about those faded spots on the panels after you spray the windows and it starts to dry on the door panel. How can that be fixed and prevented?
The easiest way to prevent it is to cover the door panel. Um, but a couple of tricks you can use, if because not covering door panels, that's a bad habit, whether we like to admit it or not. One way it can be prevented is to wet a towel and wipe the door. I mean, wet a towel and wipe the door panel first, or mist the door panel completely first, just to get it all the same saturation and the drips won't show as much. On GM vehicles, when you have the streaks, and GMs are real bad for this, you can take your heat gun and not close and hard, but just gently dry it. And as those streaks dry, um, as you deliberately dry them, wipe them with a damp towel and you'll notice they disappear. Other cars, sometimes it's clean streaks in the dirty door panel. Clean the whole door panel for them, and I understand we're not detailers for the most part, but there's many different, there's not one fix for streaked door panels, because there's a lot of reasons. And between different manufacturers, there's different reasons why a door panel streaks. So you notice Ford door panels don't tend to streak as much. They use a different dye process in plastic than General Motors does. And General Motors uses a lot of vinyl, which will absorb. And that's why when you dry it deliberately, it tends to disappear, because what's happened is the vinyl has absorbed the soap, or this, streak. And the other thing is the slip solution you're using. Some slip solutions will leave streaks more than others. I was always a big Dawn dish soap fan, and even just a few-year-old car, has a dirty factor to it. And Dawn is a great cleaner, and it would clean streaks in it. So I would have to wipe most door panels off just to get rid of the streaks, make it the rest of the way clean. Hope that answers the question. And Lobo says that he gets the best he can afford. There are always more or less expensive things. I just get the best I can afford. Lobo, that is spot on. And that is the most common practice for most people. Again, I'm an extremist, so I go all the way one way or all the other way. But for most people, they do like that middle lane, and the middle lane is great because you get a better quality, and you're usually happy or satisfied with it, and you didn't have to way overspend, but you didn't buy the cheap budget stuff that's going to give you a little bit of grief. And that's one reason that everybody should be carrying 3 lines of film in their shop, because you will find out that if you carry 2 lines, if you only have 2 options, most people aren't programmed to go straight to the most expensive thing. So you'll rarely sell that, and you'll feel like, why am I carrying ceramic? Because most people don't want to pay the extra money for it. And so then they go with your dyed film. But if you have a dyed carbon and ceramic, all those people that don't want to go all the way to the higher price, they also don't want to buy the bottom one. So they buy the middle one. And at our shop, we're $100 per step between the films. So we've got one price for dyed film, $100 more for carbon film. And carbon film doesn't cost that much more than dyed film. So it's a great profit margin. And then we're $100 more for the ceramic film. And 70% of the customers, and we're in Michigan, we've get like 3 weeks worth of hot weather here. And 70% of the customers pick the carbon film because it's in the middle. They don't want the cheapest, and they don't feel they need the most expensive. So, and Brian Fell said, did I somehow miss the auction on the keg? No, Brian. Actually, the auction is going to go until they're waiting for the paperwork to go through. Right now, the high bid, and Alex, go grab that keg, the Tinner for a Cause keg. So when the Tinners for a Cause becomes official with the paperwork, then the auction will be over. Right now, I believe last I checked, the high bid is $1,100, and that's for a keg and a scuttle shuttle and a filler thing and a cup, of course, because everybody that gets a keg buys a measuring cup or gets a measuring cup. And oh heck, he's bringing it in here for me. He's trying to bring it in here. Bum, bum, bum. So this guy, well, that's where we're going to put it because it's a lot safer there. And we can put Alex down here for a minute because he's not here. But yeah, so the scuttle shuttle and the keg is right now at $1,100, and all that money is going to go for Tinners for a Cause. And right now the auction's going in Window Film Revolution. So is anybody here not a member of Window Film Revolution? Or I should say not allowed to be a member of Window Film Revolution? Because I can help with that. Years ago, I was told Dawn was bad for adhesive. Was there any truth to that? Um, so the Dawn being bad for adhesive, honestly, nobody told me, and I used it for years and years and years and never had a problem. I can't say it is or it isn't. I know Dawn does have about the heaviest degreaser in it, but I've never found degreaser to remove adhesive for me. So I'm going to say no, but I honestly don't know. I just know I've never had failures from using Dawn. And if it's something I'm going to use day in, day out, I'll buy the most expensive, best in the category. But if it's something I only use rarely, I typically go middle or low end. Matt, that's actually real good advice too. When it comes to, well, let's take tink kegs for instance. I see a lot of people on these posts be like, "Hey, I'll give you a parts list, just build your own." So one thing that I learned about kegs, building them and selling them and standing behind them with a lifetime warranty is not all parts are created equal. It's like the difference, you got two people we'll just use Chrysler. Um, so you got two people with a Dodge Charger, and one of them's got a Hellcat and the other one's got a V6. They sure look the same, and that's the same thing. A lot of people say that these are just, wraps, but we tear these things down, change the O-rings in them, we beef them up so that they'll handle the abuse and the pressure that we're going to give them. And so that's why they cost more. So when it's something that's going to make you a living, and then the other factor is too, we pay people to do this, and there's a cost involved there because our people want paychecks also, where in a lot of situations that's where your higher dollar stuff comes from. But if you're using it in your day-to-day basis, like a tint keg, you make a living with it. Why would you skimp? Why would you buy a 45-year-old tank because you could get it for half the price and put a bunch of cheap Amazon parts into it and not know what you're doing to have headaches and problems down the road? So it's same thing in anywhere in life. On the other hand, I had a boat and it was red and it was really faded, and I needed to wheel it and wax it and make it not faded. And I didn't have any use for a high speed wheel in my life, but I needed one for this boat because I was going to wax it. And I detailed way back in the day. And so I can wheel a boat, not a big deal, but I don't have a wheel. So I went to Harbor Freight and spent like $17 on a high speed wheel. And I've used it one time, and it still works because I've used it one time. But if I was a detailer making a living with it, then I would buy a Roops because that's just what you do. Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm an extremist. So when I bought my new Kia, the paint was so pretty and I loved it so much. And I bought two Roops. I bought a little itty bitty one, and then I bought a bigger one. And they're amazing. And those two units was like $800 versus the $17 that I spent on the high speed wheel from Harbor Freight for the boat. So yeah, depending on what you're going to do with something, you definitely, you know, you got to spend your money a little more wisely. Now, did I have to buy the Roops? Could I have got same results as with something else? Absolutely. But I wanted to buy the best because I figured I was going to use it. And then the worst part is another bad habit. A habit I have is in my head, I think I'm going to do something and then I don't. So I spent all that money and I've used them just a handful of times. And now they sit on a shelf over at the tint shop in case somebody messes up a customer's paint. You know, they're great for paint correction. So there's that. Marquis says he's at $100 per option too in his store, and and that's huge because the difference in price between your entry and your middle line is enough to make it well worth carrying your top line and only having a handful of people want it. Because you can afford to keep it because you got a great profit margin on your most common seller. Um, hey Martin, what is happening? Glad to see you made it. How many messages am I behind? I get talking, and that's what I do.
You're not far.
Not far. I'm sort of a co-owner. LOL. I paid to be in the network group. There's only 8 of us in the WFR network. Oh yeah, Corey. Cool. Yo, just got home from slinging tent. Good job. Ryan Wilcox. A bad habit I find myself continuing to make is being too busy to make sure I eat right or eat at all. Oh, Ryan, I'm with you. Oh my God, I am so with you on that one. I can't even tell you. I skipped lunch again today. These guys go to lunch, and every day when these guys go to lunch, I think I'm going to order me something, and I use Grubhub, and I just like today. As soon as they left, the Fusion order came in, and oh by the way, um, little fun fact: Fusion just did a price increase, and we didn't get time today to raise the prices on the website, but we've got all this new Fusion products in, and it's in the website. It's in stock, and um, tomorrow the prices are getting adjusted. So if you need any Fusion products, order now or tonight, because the first thing Alex is doing when we come in tomorrow is he's updating those prices. So they are going to change, and it is what it is. Just like how I've done with all price increases so far, I'm not increasing the entire line of prices. I'm just increasing the prices on what I ordered. So every time I get a Fusion order, we're going to go back and check and adjust the prices as I've bought new products, because that's something that I see the bigger supply companies not following me with. They're all about raising the prices when they get the notification of the price increase, and I'm all about waiting as long as I can. So if I paid X for it, I'm going to sell it to you for X before the new Y price gets put in place when I have to purchase it again. And I get why they do the other thing, but I'm not about that. I don't believe in it. So I run my business the way I believe. So
Hey Rick,
that is that. What?
is UPS here? Because I didn't hear the ding, but it sounded like a big truck just rolled by.
No, I think a big truck just rolled by.
Oh, okay.
But UPS can't be here. Well, we got good UPS drivers. If we didn't meet them at the door, they would still take our packages. They know what to
I
do.
think so. I've been putting names on the wheel, and then I think when the time comes, I'll just have Ryan spin the wheel.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of the wheel, so we're going to make some changes with the way things go. You don't have to ask to be on the wheel. We are going to just start putting you guys on the wheel. You do have to be here when it's time to spin the wheel. And we're just going to pay attention to chat activity. So if we see your name pop up, and we might just put you on the wheel. And moving forward, we're going to, I'm not, I think it's cool that we get winners, and it's fun to win. But one thing that we get a lot of is repeat winners. And then we get a lot of people that almost never win. And I think the wheel is, just not being fair. So one thing that we're going to probably start transitioning to is just randomly picking people, and you won't know if you're getting a prize until one day you get a prize, and it'll be cool stuff. Because I got, um, have you guys seen those little squeegee keychains from Fusion yet? because I just ordered 200 of them and I won't be selling them. So there's that.
Oh, hey
And
Rick,
hey, what?
they were back ordered.
Oh, I know, I know. I talked to Jordan about
Oh,
it.
okay.
She's like, oh my God, I didn't expect anybody to buy 200 of them. I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to give them away. So I think they're just the coolest thing in the world. And so, yeah. And I mean, they're $2 a piece. So why not? You know, that's $400. I just spent $500 on candy today. So, like I said, one of my bad habits is I'm an extremist. I'm all the way one way or the other. And so, yeah, that's where we're at with that. So there's definitely going to be candies in the future. There's definitely going to be cool things like squeegees. You guys saw me do the Bic lighter giveaway thing. Um, I also ordered 500 um, bottle opener keychains with our logo on it. So we'll be giving those away. And I ordered 1,000 pens. Hopefully they come in looking decent. I bought those sight unseen, but the guy that did my lighters for me, I thought he did a nice job, and I want to help support him too. He's a good guy, and he's local, so I like to support the local folks when I can. And I love those things. They're so awesome. Yes,
So is this
and
the
Bubba
last
says,
wheel?
This might be the last wheel. I was actually wondering if we was actually going to do a wheel, but you mentioned it, so I guess we can do a wheel. And you know what? Alex has got about 15 minutes to go before he has to leave. So, yeah, maybe
We'll get it stepping.
Martin says, I'll give you $24 for one keychain. Look at that wheel. That is so cool. I like it. I like the new upgraded wheel for sure. Oh, look, Martin Cisco's even on there.
Yep.
So, do you have the keychains to show us? No, I don't. I've only seen them on post. Matt Bryson, we're going to go ahead and throw you on the price pack this week. Rob Higgins says, I'll match the $24. Look at this. Everyone wants to pay $24 for a squeegee keychain. It is like a unique, one of a kind type thing. It is so genius. And that's why I bought so many of them just to give away. And don't worry, I mean, I usually only have 20 to 30 people watching the streams. So you guys are all going to get one. As long as I see your name in the comments, I should say, and as long as I have your address, because that's the other thing. We're not going to reach out looking for your address. So, um, I don't necessarily believe in the whole pay to play thing, but just to simplify things and to make things a little bit more interesting, we will we're going to change it up a little bit. And you don't necessarily be need to be, well, you don't have to pay to play. Actually, just create an account, go to the website sundistributingdirect.com, and real quick, we'll just go to
Corey, where
this
you
website
at?
sundistributingdirect.com, and make an account, make a login. It's just that easy. You don't have to be approved. We're not picky. So then you can go ahead and we'll have your information. So you don't have to purchase anything still. And well, Martin, it's only a $2 keychain. Corey, you did win. Although I don't have any, I don't know. We'll figure out prices this week. We'll figure it out. And Roy, are you on here? Roy. You are now. And this will encourage you guys to be a little more active in the chats because again, we're not going to do a wheel, and so therefore the only way I know to decide whether you get a prize or not is if I see you in the chats. And
Yeah.
oh,
Who's that?
that's Ryan.
Roy McAvoy. Perfect
Oh,
timing.
nice.
They put me on.
How'd that happen?
Wow. I'm gonna shuffle this. Alright. You are on here, Rob. Ooh, Ryan Wilcox.
Oh, nice.
No, Ryan Wilcox was just in here. He was just in here. Corey, of course we have your info.
Ray's messaging us. Roy, you always mess me up with that. Why you don't use your real name? Are you hiding out?
He is hiding. Oh, ZJ Detailing LLC. Okay, I got you then. I got you, boo. ZJ.
I got you, boo.
Here we go. Okay. Oh, so close, Martin. Marquise Paul.
And have you guys tried Helios window film? Because one thing I can tell you is all three of our lines are just absolutely amazing. I know that because I picked them out myself, and I didn't pick them out based on profit margin. I picked them out based on long-term margin, and looks, and everything, and they're amazing. So if
Who
you haven't
hasn't
tried them,
used?
try them.
But would like to one day. Invasion.
Lobo tried the Helios Orbit. What'd you think about it, Lobo? Be honest, be brutal. I needs the feedback. That's the other thing I encourage is if you're having any struggles with anything or dislikes with anything, I know our industry has kind of made us less apt to say something, but honestly it's helpful when we know things. If something needs to be adjusted, we need to know it needs to be adjusted first. So
Alex,
cool
that's
things,
me.
Dave. Somebody just messaged, you got me, Alex?
Who's that?
I don't know. Let me look. It's
Oh, it's Roy.
somebody.
It's Brian. Ooh, order.
Order.
Oh,
Somebody needing fusion tools.
or as much as his girl would allow him. You know who you are.
Dave.
Ooh, Lobo Mo.
Fusion, 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 fusion. Look at that. And he didn't just order fusion stuff. But yeah, if you need fusion stuff, tonight is the night because it will get increased tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's just a reality. Inflation is not slowing down for us because we don't like it. You know, it's just inflation is doing what it's doing, and we're going to have to ride the wave. I will give you a heads up and encourage everybody to save that money. It's about an 11% increase, which isn't a ton of money, but every 11% counts right now, and
You are
it
lucking
is what it
out,
is.
David. Your order is getting filled right now as we speak.
Yup. It appears as though
Perfect
it is
timing.
going to go out today. Even though you're past the cutoff point.
Yeah, we break the rules for you, Dave, because we love you.
Yeah.
Sean, where you at, Sean?
Sean, where
Yeah,
are
he's
you?
YouTube Sean.
YouTube, Sean.
Yeah, YouTube Sean.
Well, I don't
Just
know what that
Sean.
means. It's like,
Where are
is
you
that
at,
because he's
Sean?
famous like Madonna?
No,
Cher?
maybe.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that username wasn't taken already.
Well, Dave, until I
Right.
see the UPS driver come around the corner, you're good. And the UPS guy will most likely wait. Our technical pickup time is 5:45, but they do have a little bit of a window. So they
Oh, he's
sometimes
getting what?
what? Yeah, he's getting all the things.
Wow.
Martin's getting close. Yeah, Martin, we're Sean, where are you? Are you not with
Oh,
us?
okay, gotcha. I literally skipped him. Speaking of. Is Sean here yet? Nope. Sean doesn't get it. Sorry, Sean. I think he was like from the like 30 minutes ago. Respin.
Respin. Look at that. We took away the countdown also because John Nicholas, he had to go though. So,
Oh,
as
so he's
everybody
gone.
knows, or maybe not knows, John Nicholas is the Solar Guard rep, and he's my Solar Guard rep. Now, why do I have a Solar Guard rep, you ask? Because we get the film handlers from Solar Guard because they're also who makes the film handlers. And we have them sent directly to you. And if you notice the cost on the film handler and you go to filmhandler.com, you will also notice that we're the same price as filmhandler.com and we give free shipping. So, who's the man? Yeah, that's right. We're the man.
Boom.
Give it to the next guy, Dave.
Michael Hilliard.
Oh, there we go. Are you still with us? And that's the other, so there's pluses and minuses to this whole Dave says he wants to give it to the next guy. What's he giving to the next guy? His whole order? Sweet. Dude, that's paying it forward. That's amazing. What are we spinning to win? We don't even know, Travis. We're just making winners. We'll figure out what we're going to send them tomorrow. I know that
All right.
today we we bought a lot of stuff that will be arriving soon. I hope that we're going to be giving away in the future. Jake Gifford. Jake Gifford? Where is this Jake Gifford we speak of?
He just said something. What are we winning on this fine Tuesday?
We don't even know.
Jake. Oh, he said give the nickel spin to Dave.
Oh. Um, Dave, no, we're not trying to get rid of short 20% rolls, but we are trying to get rid of short 35% rolls. And I'm going to write a little note to myself.
Brian Feltz.
Tomorrow, you guys can look on the website, and if you need 35% for anything and you want to try
Oh,
out
he's talking about the 12-inch.
the 12-inch. Yeah, actually I do. Um, why you want to try one? Um, yell at Ryan real quick. Hurry, catch him.
Ryan! You got Dave's already already?
All right. We'll send you a pair of we'll send you a pair of in fact that can be your prize today. We're gonna send you a pair of 12-inch 20% rolls. And Alex is gonna pick it out. So I don't know what you're getting, but I think it's gonna be Nova probably. Let's see. I'm looking. It might be. Oh, I didn't see where he pulled it from. But yep, that's customer service right there. Yes, that's what we do. And we do that all day long. We're on top of it. We get comments a lot of times um, from people. We get comments a lot of times from people that are like, dude, what the heck? I just placed my order like 10 minutes ago. And these guys just wait. We got a cha-ching noise that the computer makes when an order comes in, and when it does that, they just rush over there and hurry up and print it and run and fill it because it makes people smile when 15 minutes later they're like, your order has been shipped. So yeah, all the things that I would want out of a distributor. That's what we try to do, and that's why we're working so hard to get you guys. Brian, how you keep winning? I don't know what to send you. See, but that's why we're going to stop spinning the wheel because the wheel's just not fair to everybody. We get people that win over and over and over again, and then we get people that don't almost ever win or maybe haven't even won yet. Still, raise your hand if you haven't won anything yet. Um, I just got a text that says, I don't know what happened. I'm watching you guys, but I cannot write nothing. But I'm here. Dave hasn't won anything. Invasion hasn't won anything yet today, but he's got like a half a dozen wins under his belt. Stan Foster hasn't won anything. Corey, you have won lots of the things, but you did. Corey was one of those went a long time without winning something. And then he got on a streak for a while, and now he wins everything from everyone. He's just that guy. Brian says, I love my cake decorator and Snickers and Skittles. You got a Snickers and Skittles? Whoa.
All right, last one. Then I got to go. My wife's outside.
Last one, and then Alex is signing out. But I can hang out with you guys for a minute. And who
Cash.
knows? Cash. Oh, wait. We got to put you up here. Cash, you win
All right.
something. Cash is, I won, have a lot lately, but it was dry run in the beginning. Yep.
All right, bye guys.
Time for Rick to spin the wheel. Alex has got the wheel on his computer and he just logged out. So Cash just commented. Yep. CD window tinting. Okay, we got you. And Alex be gone. Yeah, so Alex is starting his school. It's an online, which is kind of weird. It's an online class, but today's his first day, and he's got to be in person. So he wanted to go early and show up, and yeah. So check my question above, please. Invasion DW. Clayton, I won last week. Much appreciated, Rick. I was excited to get the sticker in my goodies. Cash. I won, have a lot lately, but a dry run in the beginning. Looking. Cash, it's way up there. Where is it? Oh my God, it's way above because I see you saying, you see my question above? I'm going to find it. What are we winning on this? Cash, how far up is it? Oh, wait a minute. Is this it? Is this it? What's your thoughts about just adding water and soap to the keg and cleaning it once a week? Oh, well, that's easy. Oh, now, oh, oh, well, thanks, guys, but I wasn't seeing those ones because I was scrolling up. But, anyways, yeah, so that is absolutely fine. Remember, we're dealing with a stainless steel keg. Stainless steel doesn't stain, it's super easy to clean. And so most of the time I just use water because there's soap scum in it already, and the soap scum will actually clean itself. So you just take like a sponge or a scrubby or anything really, a toilet brush, it doesn't matter, and just scrub around on the inside and swish it around and dump it out. And you can look down there and see if you missed anything and do it again if you did. If you do it once a week, it'll be super easy to clean and you won't ever look like you missed anything because that's very thorough. Once a week is great. That's like taking a shower every day, which I do, but I don't wash my keg once a week, or sometimes I do. Brian Fell says you can, it doesn't matter. We're going to send you guys prizes anyways, because that's just how we roll. And I've got a text from Howdy from Nebraska. And I said, who's this? Because that's how I roll. Who this be? I ordered like 3 measuring cups so I can drop them in daily. Yeah, we just leave the measuring cup in there like all the time. That way you don't lose it and it pretty much always stays clean. And if you leave your measuring cup in there all the time, you'll get a feel for how clean or dirty your tank is on the inside, because if scum builds up on, oh, hey, Ed, Munster Tint and Vinyl from Nebraska. What's up? Um, but yeah, if you start getting a film built up on that, it's an indication that hey, it's time to clean the keg. So it's a multi kind of thing. I run hot water through my tank and hose once a month. Every fill, I rinse the tank and clean the sprayer filter. Yeah, so with my tanks, at least with our hose, you should never have to clean the hose on the inside. So flushing the hose out is kind of, I mean, if you go like a week or so without using it, you'll want to flush it because the water in it will get nasty, just like it does in your tank if you let it sit for a long time. As far as cleaning the hose go, not so much necessary if you use it every day. The filter tip though, and the sprayer and the tank itself, they will collect. But hey, Alex is on Facebook now. Alex, I thought you was going to log in on your phone on the drive over there and restream. Do you not remember how to do that? You should remember. Remember Snickers and peanut M&Ms for Cash, because he is God with the peanut M&Ms. Cash, you sound like me. Martin Cisco, yes. Prices of what? I feel like I'm missing something. Hey Rick, do you know if any companies give out samples or test rolls of film for free? Oh, I might hook you up with some samples or test film, but most places, if you call and ask, they'll send you samples. And you are welcome, Cash. I'm caught up with the I'm caught up with the thing. Oh, Alex, if you're still watching, if you log in on the way over there, then you can show everybody the baby in real life. How cool would that be? I got a de-ice system coming. Is it bad to use that to fill the keg, or should I use regular water? What's a de-ice system? I'm at a loss. What is that? Let me know in the comments, Travis. Does anybody know what this is? Everybody's going to chime in and I'm going to feel stupid. Or is it takes everything out of the water? No, that should be fine. A lot of people use distilled water. It should be similar. Um, that's that stuff that they use, a lot of detail shops will use to filter the water so that it's spot free water. Deionizer. Yeah. Yeah, that should be fine. That's good water. And you might notice your scum buildup reduce immensely too. So for sure, definitely for sure. I feel like I need to look into that. Oh, multitasking here. So what else we got going on, guys? We're an hour 44 minutes into this thing. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling hungry because yeah, They went to lunch and I was going to order food and then I heard a ding and I looked up at the camera and it was a freight truck pulling in. So then I had to go unload the truck and then of course you guys know I like to talk. So then I talked to the guy a little bit about I talked to him about stuff. I don't even know what, but we had a good long conversation and then I came back in and I was going to order food and I heard a ding again and it was my attorney. So then I went and talked with her for a little bit and then I came back in and was missing phone calls and so I got that and the next thing I know they came back and it was back to work again and no food for me today. So yeah. So I'm feeling a little hungry. Um, the weather where I am today is like 80, so it's wonderful. It's going to be like 82 or 83 tomorrow, so we're tickled. We will get back in the upper 60s, low 70s next week, which I'm almost sad for, but not totally. I'm a Michigander, so I'm used to upper 60s, low 70s is cool. You know, I set my thermostat in the house at 72 year round, so chicken fajitas for dinner. I think I'm going to have some mahi mahi for dinner tonight because last night I was given the choice between teriyaki chicken or mahi mahi. And, you know, if I got to pick between chicken and fish, I'm going to pick chicken. And then the chicken's gone now because I ate it all. It was amazing. And so tonight we'll have fish, and she does a fantastic. We got an air fryer. She cooks everything in the air fryer, and you know, I used to hear people talk about how amazing an air fryer is, and I'm like, yeah, it's just another way to cook. Heat cooks food, whatever. And Charles got her an air fryer for Christmas, and she like cooks everything on the air fryer, and it is freaking amazing. How you can get something so crispy on the outside but so juicy on the inside is just fucking unreal. And 15 minutes it takes, you know, and that's the other thing. You know, she puts it in there and she's like, dinner will be ready in about 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh, well, don't you have to like cook it? And it's cooked. So I don't know. Air fryers are amazing, but I was a skeptic. I doubted it, and I would have never bought one because I just didn't believe the hype. And Jake says, air fryers changed lives. Yes, they do. But I would have been, because, you know, I don't know. And Mary was on board. She didn't see how it could make that much of a difference. Whatever. Get a toaster oven. You know, you can cook it in a toaster oven. It's the same thing. It's heat. Now, I don't know what the heck there is about that, but um, oh, Mr. Gonzalez, we'll catch you next week. Yeah, it's almost over. You almost made it, but thanks for complimenting the stream. I love it when people tell me I have a good stream. It helps my ego stay big. Um, but yeah, air fryers are really they're absolutely all the hype. They're exactly what people said that they are. And I got to be careful though cuz yeah. Oh my God, I got glassade clay bars in stock, and I'm noticing somebody. Oh, is this for real? Um, hold on. I'm noticing somebody subscribed to get a notification when glassade clay bars come back in stock, but they are back in stock, so I don't even understand. Kick post, bullock material, stainless steel. Oh my God. I am so sorry, people. I am not out of stock on clay bars. I have 200 of them. I've had them for days, but yet here we are. We got to do some inventory. I see a lot of numbers that probably ain't accurate. But what can I do? I mean, we're just three guys here trying to get it done. And so, yep, that is what we're going to do. And I have one and love it, but it ain't fried. LOL. It's small convection oven, high heat and fan equals crispy and juicy. Interesting. Well, okay. Rick always got an amazing stream, plenty of awesome prizes, and great info for everyone to learn. I do try. I'm a two-stager and getting some pieces. Should I cut should I cut pattern daughter? I think autocorrect got you. I'm assuming cut pattern smaller. Yeah, sometimes when the you're struggling to get it in the edges, that's where a lot of your contamination comes from on the edges. So you really there's two reasons that I cut the pattern bigger than the window. Reason number one is obvious because I need to cover up the outside edge so there's no light gaps and you can't see the edge of the film. So that's only a tiny little bit. And the other reason I might go even bigger is Lobo said Jaybird's drunk. The other reason I would go bigger is if the window shifts, then I figure out where the shift point is and I make sure I go past that so that when it shifts, you can't see the edge of the film. But most of the time in most cars today, the window doesn't shift anymore. That was the 80s and 90s kind of a thing, and maybe even the early 2000s a little bit. But windows are pretty solid now. They go straight up and down and they don't shift a lot when they move. And so I just make them a hair bigger and center them and eliminates all the struggle and tucking the side edges. And I get contamination free. I was able to eliminate my side creases, or as we call them, flip lines, because creases make us but was able to eliminate the flip lines and get clean results. And yeah, there's no reason to go more than you have to go. So that's like filling up your 5 gallon keg with 4 gallons of water to do 2 cars and dumping the rest out. So, but yeah, Jaybird, only make the pattern as wide as it has to be and not more. Jake's laughing at me trying to read that. Hey, look, I'll try to make sense out of whatever you guys type. It's how I roll. Lobo, you're funny. I like you. I'm just refreshing. Oh, come on. Did I let me reopen this? Oh no. I know what happened. Wait a minute. They broke it. They didn't know any better. It's not their fault. Boys will be boys. I have to fix it now though. That's a clay bar. I got to figure out what happened. Oh, I did that for years, Lobo. I would, I used to call the last corner my signature crease until I figured out. Um, so what I was actually doing, so it says in stock, what the hell? So what I learned is that when I go to shrink the window and then I push it with my card, I was pushing just a little bit too far and I was setting more than I shrunk. And by the time you get to the end, it adds up. And then I'd get to where I couldn't get it no more. So if you're starting to struggle a little bit with a corner and it's looking like you're going to have a problem, lift that side up, set it back down, make your cross line again, and check where you've already shrunk. And I promise you'll have bulges in that area that you didn't shrink all the way. And so if you shrink them and work your way back up, it'll soften what you have left to shrink, if that makes sense. So, yeah. And this and make sure the website sees it in stock. I don't know what's going wrong. Okay, I don't know what's up with this then. Let me refresh this. Okay, it's better. Let me go to here and refresh this. Whatever. This. Don't mind me. I just gotta look here for a minute. Dotrix is good. Flying scraper. And those damn tint check VLT meters have been out of stock for frick, I swear 6 months now. I'm not positive. I'd have to go back and look, but I feel like it has been. All right, I think everything else is good there. So let's close this. Let's close this. Close this. This. Who dat? Close this. Class A clay bar in stock. So yeah, they did good. I don't know. The website was jerking itself around. There. Close this. Yes. Brian is here. Hi, Brian. What time is it? It's 5:55. Oh, you know what that means? I got about 5 minutes left in my day. Yeah, so the keg back here is, and I'll pull it out. This is actually up for auction. I'll move this over here too. This is actually up for auction on Window Film Revolution. The Scuttle Shuttle and the Tick Keg. It's a Tinners for a Cause keg. I can bring it a little bit closer. Oh, it's heavy. I can bring it a little bit closer. The logo. Reed ass design with the Tick Keg logo in the back. It comes with the Curry Tech hose that everyone likes, an inline filter. Everything about this is amazing. I'm also, with every keg, oh, let's put you up here. Oh my God, you're heavy. It's like a baby growing up. I don't know. But with this one, I'm also going to include this little guy, which is really easy to make. I use all stainless steel parts and a German filler, but these are great if you're in a hurry filling up the keg. You just put this on the side that's marked in, and to your air hose, or you can just hook it up direct and regulate your pressure at like 90 psi if you're in a shop, and then you can just leave it connected and PSI or whatever. But this cuts the air filling time like to a small fraction of what it actually takes. So, and then of course, every tint keg now gets a 4 ounce measuring cup. All four sides, if you can see that, all four sides have the measuring, or actually three sides. So it's got it on the back, and of course it's got it on the printed side too, which doesn't make sense to try to here. But this goes to 4 ounces, so it'll help you stay consistent with the amount of solution that you use in your keg. So that way, from one fill to the next, you're like, oh my God, I put too much, or oh my God, I didn't put enough. So, and Dave Weimer says he is, move your mic back. Too many things for me to pay attention to, Mo. But yeah, so Dave says he's finally measuring his slip. And how's that working out for you, Dave? Because I used to be one of those like eyeballers, and when I started measuring, it was like a game changer for me because I didn't have bad slip days. Because I know as the weather changes, I know that I need to add more. And as soon as I learn how much I need, then it's consistent for the rest of the summer. And back to um, winter, I just scale it back and I know how much to put in there. And for you guys that are using baby shampoo and you got a 5 gallon keg, even though you get a 4 ounce, and I know 4 ounces is not enough baby shampoo for a 5 gallon keg, you got to use like 2 ounces a gallon or something, then you just fill the cup up twice, dump it, fill it, throw it in, and shake it up. And there you go. Hey, Cash, we'll see you next week, man. Have yourself a good one. It is getting about that time, too. Cash is like, oh, heck yeah, I got to go home. I get it. Me too. Um, Ryan, too. He's like, hey, dude, it's 6 o'clock, man. You don't pay me past this shit, so I got to go. All righty. You booking? I will see you. Yep, it seems like it's coming down to that time again. Oh, and just I have this little thing, and I don't know how many of you guys are mechanically or mechanics. Um, I have my Jeep has a 93 5.9 liter 360 Magnum in it. And it seems like after running for a couple of hours, it all of a sudden loses fuel pressure and wants to die. So I think we got it narrowed down because I got a new fuel pump, new fuel filter, ran new fuel lines, and I've got a new exhaust, and everything is like from one end to, from start to finish, it's all new, and we're still losing fuel pressure. So somebody said, oh, maybe you're boiling gas. So now I'm going to, because I just ran the lines the way they were run and it didn't fix it. So now I'm going to rerun the lines on the opposite side of the exhaust pipe and route them away from the manifold. And hopefully that fixes it. But if there's anybody that is like mechanical, especially with older Magnum engines, then maybe we can talk somewhere down the road. And I'd like to bounce ideas because this has been fun. I have learned way more about fuel systems than I wanted to. But hey, knowledge is good, right? But when you get my age, you only got so much brain capacity. So I just don't want to waste it on hobbies. So yeah. Just showed my 3-year-old son, my son distributing dash towel you sent me. He said, say race car, go faster. My daughter said it. It doesn't say that, he said. What does it say? Um, the dash towel, it says Sun Distributing. Bye, Rick. Thanks for everything. Great stream. Cool. How about a fuel pressure regulator on that? So I also changed the fuel pressure regulator and it's doing fine. I'm getting about well actually I upped the fuel pump. It did have a 60 PSI fuel pump that wasn't holding pressure after the ignition went off. And while I was having problems, I put a port in at the fuel pump. And so at the pump, I was getting 50 PSI, which I only need at 45. So I was getting 50 PSI at the pump and like 20 at the regulator. And so it wasn't that, it was, and now it kind of boils down to I learned that, did you know gasoline will boil at 102 degree Fahrenheit? That's crazy. So apparently when we'll see a Stan. It's got stock fuel injectors, but they are also new. Like I said, everything's new from one end to the other. And but yeah, so it turns out whoever did the motor swap in it, they just basically brought the line up and then ran it up across the back of the manifolds. And I'm thinking, it's rare that a fuel injected car is going to get vapor lock, but I deal with rare stuff, and it's usually not the good rare stuff. But that's my maybe tonight project. We'll see. Actually, I'm waiting on some clamps because I really wanted to clamp it along the way too. So I guess I got another thing to check because I didn't get that delivery today. So the day is never over. That's coming tomorrow. That was delivered today. That's coming tomorrow. 6:15 to 8 p.m. That is not what we agreed on. All my stuff is coming between 6:15 and 8 p.m. This is not how I envisioned my day ending up. Uh, and it went out for delivery at 11:38 this morning. Oh, that's so rude. And of course, I don't have one of those it's 10 stops away emails. So we shall see. Can you do some flex class videos? Elaborate on that because I'm not familiar with the terminology you're using. All right, man, Corey, I'll see ya. Flex class videos. Don't know what that means, Jeff. Help me out. Oh, flat glass. It just so happens I have my tripod in my car, and Thursday I got a pretty good sized flat glass job. It's only a good sized flat glass job because most of it's a removal also. So I planned on setting it up, and so hopefully I'll have some good content for you guys next week. It's in a business, so I don't feel too bashful. And Lobo, I replaced the fuel line, but the fuel line is running dangerously close to the manifold. So hopefully, now I got to decide what I'm going to do about this delivery because I don't know. Oh, this is unfortunate with these peoples. So frustrated with them right now. No, they're not going to show me on that wonderful map. Got that info from Google. Yeah, I read a lot of Google. I read a lot of forums. I read a lot of things. And fingers crossed, they will all be helpful. Man, I got a notifications. Yep, a ton of stuff. It says out for delivery, but no updates on anything. It says 6:15 to 8 o'clock. That's dumb. And I'm not waiting here for that. So they irritate me sometimes. Does your flat glass film have dry adhesive? Absolutely. In fact, the makers of Helios want me to carry flat glass job and glass film and put the Helios name on it. And we're at a standstill because they don't currently have dry adhesive. And I'm not interested. So we sell Avery film and all except for, things like security film, that's a PS adhesive. Frost is a PS adhesive. Blackout, whiteout, that's PS adhesive. But all your spectrally select and your door reflectives and silver and everything, those are all dry adhesive and they're wonderful to work with. And you'll notice the clarity with the Avery is bar none. And the workability with it is just amazing. Avery's a little more expensive, and I used to avoid it for that reason. And I used other people's films that I thought was great. And because I'm an Avery distributor, it became a little bit easier to just use Avery. And the first time I used Avery, I was like, what have I been doing to myself all these years? And that boils back to that whole how you spend your money, you get what you pay for. And, so many times we look at profit margin based on the box versus what it takes us to actually do the install. Installing Avery Dennison film is so much quicker and easier for me than other stuff because I don't know. Should I start packing shuttles for Monday? Actually, Brian, I am going to need to order some because funny story. I told you about the one that UPS damaged. Well, I sent them a replacement and UPS paid for the damaged one and then they broke the replacement one. So yesterday I next date them just the base because that's the part they keep breaking. So it's the only person that's gotten a broken one. It's just crazy. But I put in another claim and told them they need to do better. In fact, in the claim, I added the video that the customer sent me, and he said flat out, the box is crushed. The thing is broken worse than the first one. And he's like, UPS, you've got to do better. I'm like, yeah, we're going to send this in with the claim. So that was awesome. But yeah, Brian, I'll get that together and let's do it whichever way looks most secure. And as far as weight goes, just tell me how many's on there and I can calculate the weight and just give me the dimensions of the pallet and I will get it picked up. And whichever one's more secure between the 24 or 30, I don't know exactly, and just make sure it's wrapped good. And we're going to cross our fingers and hope it works. And I will make sure I insure it just in case. Because this will be our first pallet of these pre-boxed, and hopefully we did all of our calculations correctly. But guys, until next week, I am gonna get off of here and decide if I'm gonna stay here and wait for delivery or if I'm gonna let them try again tomorrow. You know, they ask you if you're a business and what your delivery hours are, and then you get notifications like estimated delivery between 6:15 and 8 p.m., which is a pretty big delivery window. And it just blows me away. Just blows me away. No, yeah. Did what link come through? What did I miss? Where did you send it, Lobo? I don't see a link. Do I? Most common cause of low fuel pressure are clogged oil filter or bad fuel pump. Can also be caused by a bad fuel pressure regulator, a stuck fuel injector, a fuel pressure sensor, or smashed fuel line. Yes, I read that same thing, which is why we replaced so much. No, I did not see. I don't think YouTube allows you to put it. It doesn't push through the um, links. So let me throw this up here. If you want to text it to me, but if that's the Google search that you did, I read that already. And man, I've been dealing with this for 3 weeks now, and um, yeah, clogged fuel pump, or I mean clogged oil filter. That's intriguing. And no, I haven't changed the oil yet, but it totally makes sense. If you look at the causes for vapor lock, I mean, I'm good for about a solid 2 hours of riding around the park, and then it just dies out. And when it cools down, it's good again. And so it would be if it was a clogged oil filter, it would be more. Oh, there it is. It came through that time. Now I just have to open up something else where I can copy it from. Ba-dum-bum-bum. Copy. Oh, that does not look like something that I saw. Paste. Go. Oh. Oh, I see what you did there. Okay. Paste. You broke it up so they didn't know it was a link. You sneaky. Oh, that didn't work either. What am I missing there? Okay, is that the one that starts out with that's the one that oh, I love this search. Okay. I'm down. I did not find this. What did you use to search to find this? Oh, there you go, Lobo. Yep, yep. I figured it out. Okay, cool. The image is currently unavailable because it's an old thread and people remove their shits, but whatever. Yeah, actually, I didn't ever search that because I didn't know until I started looking. And my Jeep guy, my Fab guy, actually, he's been kind of going through it with me and everything. And after I replaced the fuel line and everything, he's like, I wonder if you're boiling the fuel. And I chuckled. I was like, is that even a real thing? And I Googled it and I was like, what temperature does gasoline boil at? And I found out it was 102 degrees. And I'm like, really? Because when I was rerunning the fuel line, I ran it just the way it was run. And I'm not sure where the exhaust runs normally on a Jeep, but mine runs down the passenger side, and so does the fuel line. I mean, the driver's side, and so does the fuel line. And as I'm running, I'm like, that just seems kind of close to the exhaust pipe. But I didn't give it much more thought because I was like, gas is usually cold and it's fine. It'll get there. We're not going to blow up. And I guess there's more to it than just blowing up. So that's going to be next on the agenda. Maybe with a little luck, I'll be able to give you guys an update next Tuesday because hopefully. But yeah, where are we with this? We're down to 10 people. Look at us go. We're dropping. They're dropping like flies. But that's because it's after 6 and people want to go home. And it's 6:18 and Amazon still is not here with my stuff. So I thought I was going to go home tonight and do it, but I want those clamps first. So those lines running that close to exhaust are heating up and boiling your fuel, causing vapor lock. I am still in the process of redoing the POSIS issue and will end up routing fuel lines further away. So wow. So there's like a lot of people that have this problem, but you got to search the right stuff in order to find it. Oh. Wow. Lobo, thank you so much. It gave me, I already decided this is my problem, but honest to God, I think, and I even bought a heat shield sleeve for the fuel line. So I was just going to install that. But the more I studied it and realized, it only needs to be 102 degrees, I'm like, I'm going to reroute it too and put the heat shield on it. So, like I said, hopefully this solves the problem. Fingers crossed. I'm excited. But the 2 hours I did get at the park, oh my God, I did some sketchy shit with this Jeep. And it did it. It did things that I didn't think a car should be able to do. But my Jeep guy, my Fab guy, he tells me it'll do whatever I ask it to do. So I keep testing it. And yeah. Yep. I was just reading that too. That's why I got excited, Lobo. I appreciate your help. This is awesome. And I'm digging it, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm excited. So, oh, and they're even talking about the exhaust wrap in there, which I looked into, but all my exhaust is welded, so I can't just take it out and spin it and wrap it. And so, yeah. Anyways, guys, all 10 of you that are still here with me, you guys have a great time. I will catch you on the next Tool Talk, and who knows, look out for a new update. And Lobo, I am glad to have you as part of our circle. It just proved to be really awesome. I mean, it's been awesome before this, but yeah, it's awesome when there's somebody there. And Marquise, thank you. And we will catch you on the next time around. So until then, see you next time.